everyone, welcome back to TechnoMonk. If you're watching this for the first time, a big warm welcome to you. And if you are a returning viewer, you already know that we don't create boring content here. Okay, we focus on practical things. So today we are kicking off a brand new tutorial series, and trust me, this is one. This one is going to be really valuable. Whether you are someone who is just starting out in IT, exploring service now, or looking out to build a career in customer service technology. So we are talking about CSM, customer service management on ServiceNow. Now I know the moment some people hear ServiceNow or customer service management, they think, "Oh no, this sounds complicated." But I promise you, by the end of this series, you are going to look at it and say, "Wait, that was actually simple." So in this series, we are going to go deep from the very basic all the way to the advanced stuff. We will cover concept, we will cover the platform, we will do hands-on, the whole package. So if that sounds good to you, hit subscribe button, turn on the bell icon notification so you don't miss a single episode. And let's get started with today's video. So let's go. Alright, so we before we touch anything on service now, let's first understand the most basic question. What exactly is customer service management? Let's forget technology for a second, okay? Let's just think about real life. Imagine you bought a phone, a new phone. You are excited, you unbox it, and it turned out that it's not turning on. What do? You call the company, you raise a complaint, and then someone from the company take ownership of your problem, track it, work on it, and get back to you with the solution. Now, all of this process, okay, from the moment you raise that complaint to the moment it got resolved, that entire journey is customer service management. If you want to talk in simple terms, in simple words, CSM is a system that helps company to take care of their customer. That's the core value of it in a structured, organized, and professional way. Now, when we bring ServiceNow into picture, ServiceNow CSM is a platform and module that companies use to manage all of this digitally. So customer support request, complaint, queries, service, everything is tracked, managed, and resolved through this system. Think of it as a control room where every customer issue that comes in gets logged, assigned, tracked, and closed. Nothing falls through the cracks. That's CSM. Simple, right? Now let's look at where this actually being used in the real world. Now here is where things get interesting, okay? Because CSM is not limited to one industry, it is everywhere. Let me give you some example. If you look at the banking sector, right? Okay, the credit card, the product you are applying for new credit card, or you are applying for new loan application or some interest adjustment. This is a banking sector. It's the same with public sector also. Like for instance, you want to apply for driving license application or registration for renewal request, maybe it for your home, for your car. That's in the public sector. On hospitality in the hotel, if you want to do hotel reservation, you want to book the hotel for weddings or corporate events. Again, it's an example for our CSM. Okay, we can we can extend it out to hospital also. Okay, appointment scheduling, waiting list management, patient service management, all this comes under CSM. So you see, whether it's bank, a government office, a hotel, or a hospital, any organization that serves customer needs customer service management. And that's exactly why ServiceNow CSM is such a powerful and in-demand skill today. Now, before we go deeper into ServiceNow, okay, there's a fundamental concept I want to make sure everyone is clear on, and that is the difference between what is product and what is service. Okay, so why we are talking about product and service in CSM tutorial first of all? Okay, because in CSM the thing a company offers to its customer are either product or service, and understanding the difference help you understand what kind of support is being managed. So let's break it down simply. Okay, Consider a product is something tangible, okay, meaning something you can physically hold in your hand, like a mobile phone, a laptop, a credit card. You can touch it, feel it, hold it. But wait, product can also be intangible, something you cannot physically hold, but it still exists, like a software license, a subscription, an insurance policy. Okay, you can't hold it in your hand, but it's still something you own or use. On the other hand, service is an action or experience delivered to you, like internet connectivity, a hotel stay, a doctor consultation. It's something you take home in a box. Okay, it's not something you take home in a box. It's something that is done for you or provided to you. So if you want to summarize it out, right, product equal to, just to just understand this thing out, okay, product equal to something you get, okay, tangible or intangible. And when we talk about service, is something done for you, an experience or an action. Now in ServiceNow CSM, when a customer raises a request, it could be related to a product they purchased or a service they have subscribed to, and the system manages both. Clear? Great. Let's move on. All right. Now let's talk about how a customer actually connect with the company. Because think about it, okay? When you have a problem, you don't just magically get help, right? You have to reach out for help. So you have to reach out for help, and we need some channel, okay, to reach for this. So it happens. So if we look into this, okay, let's look at what those channels are. Okay, so it may be portal, it may be chat, it may be email, phone, video, messaging, anything. Okay, all these things are channel. The channel uh, bridge the gap between a customer and a service provider. So the customer picks up wherever the customer pick up wherever whichever wherever channel is convenient for them, and they reach out to service provider, which is a company or support team. In ServiceNow CSM, all these channels are connected to the system. So no matter how the customer reach out, the interaction is captured and tracked in one place. That's the beauty of it. Okay, one platform, all channels, zero chaos. Now, when a customer reaches out through any of this channel, what exactly get created? Okay, in the system, that brings us to very important concept, which is interaction versus cases. So as it was somewhat fundamental to understand the difference between product and service, in the similar way it's really important we should know what's the difference between interaction and cases also. Okay, so this is one of those concepts that confuses a lot of beginners, okay, trust me, but once you get it, it's super simple, I promise. So let's talk about interactions and cases and what makes them difference. So think interaction. Think of an interaction as a simple record of conversation with a customer. That's it. Record of conversation with a customer. Every time a customer contacts support, that context is logged as an interaction. It's basically saying, hey, this customer called us or chat with us or emailed us. That's it. So interaction is whatever communication we are happening is happening to with the customer. That's it. Okay. If a person is able to get the answer through the conversation only, that's fine. Okay, the interaction get closed over there and itself. Now the next thing is case. Okay, a case is created when the customer issue cannot be resolved immediately and needs to be tracked, worked on, and follow up. A case is a problem to be solved, basically. So let me give you a super simple example, okay, so that this entire concept will get clear to you. You can call your bank and ask, what is my outstanding balance on my credit card? The agent checks and tell you right there on the call. Done. That's an interaction. Quick, simple, resolved on the spot. Most of the time it's handled by IVR also, right? So this is interaction. Now imagine you call and say, I was charged twice for the same transaction. Now that can't be fixed in 2 minutes, right? The agent need to investigate, escalate, coordinate with the finance team, and get back to you. That became case. It needs to be tracked until it fully gets resolved. So if you want to put it simply, interaction is record of communication, case is a problem to be solved. Okay, interaction can be resolved on the spot. Okay, case may need follow-ups. Okay, if you want one more example of interaction is like, what's my bill amount? Okay, this is interaction, and I was charged incorrectly. This may be the case. Got it? Great. Now let's see how this all fits together in the end-to-end process. So alright, this slide is where everything we have learned today came together. Let's talk through the end-to-end process of how CSM works in ServiceNow step by step. So first step one, customer reaches out. Okay, the customer has a problem or a query. They pick up a channel. It can be any channel. It could be phone, chat, email, portal, whatever is convenient, and they contact the support team. Now the moment they contact the support team, interaction is created. The moment that contact happened, a record is created in ServiceNow. That record is called as interaction. It captures who the customer is, what channel they use, what they said, when they called, everything is logged. Perfect. Now, can it be resolved right now over the call? The agent looks at the issue. If it's something simple like checking an account balance or giving information, the agent resolves it right there, and the interaction is closed, done. If not, a case is created. But if the issue is complex, right? If it needs investigation, escalation, or multiple people to work on it, then the agent creates a case from the interaction. Now the problem has a dedicated record that will be tracked until it's fully resolved. Does it? So this is how it goes. Okay. So if you see on interaction, there's an example. What is my amount of my last bill? Okay, this can be interaction. And as we mentioned earlier, that if we want to raise a dispute, it will lead to case. Perfect. Now let's move on. Let's try to understand end-to-end process. We'll just go beyond the module of CSM, and we will see how in a real-time scenario how ServiceNow implementation happens on this front. So again, a customer uses a channel, talks to customer support, okay, and the interaction record got created. Now, as we have covered till this particular point, if it requires follow up, okay, it creates keys. Now the case is created. This is the CSM model for us. Okay. Now when the case is created, there are two aspects to it. Okay. It may require on-site support. Okay. For instance, let's consider an example that a case is created. Okay. So you have purchased a refrigerator, and the refrigerator is not working the way you want. Now, no one can fix that refrigerator on the call, right? Or you can't get that refrigerator and go to the company that, hey, fix it out for me. Okay. It requires an on site support. Okay. And that's where field service management comes into existence. So basically, field service management is a module in ServiceNow. Okay. It will help us out over there. What it does, it will allocate a field service engineer who will go visit that place. Okay, he will have work order to work on that particular assignment, and he will fix that particular refrigerator or inspect that particular refrigerator as a part of work order which he's having. Now there are a few things which can be resolved over the call or over digitally, okay, without any physical support. Okay, it requires technical support kind of thing. So it goes to IT support agent. And that's where ITSM model comes into existence. So support engineer may raise a request, problem, change, incident, whatever we want. If you want to take an example of it, you have all of us have internet connection, right, at home. Okay, if not, how you are seeing this video? So that internet connection, if it's not working the way you expect it to be, okay, you call the IT support engineer, okay, and you tell him that, hey, I'm not getting proper bandwidth. Now it doesn't require a person to come and sit in front of you, right? Okay, he can simply look from there itself, okay, there's a bandwidth issue, and he can fix it out from there. Now there can be multiple requests. If you want, if the engineer says, hey, you can request for higher bandwidth, okay, then you can raise a request. If it's impacting your means they are not able to detect it out, okay, they want further investigation, they can create incident. Again, if from that particular same area, if multiple people are raising the same incident, it can be clubbed into problem. And if the problem, looking at the problem, if they found that, okay, this is happening, a lot of people are getting uh, affected because of this, okay, because the tower itself is not to the latest version or not that upgraded technology, then they can create a change, okay, to replace that tower. Simple, right? So this is how the end-to-end process goes. So this was the first tutorial. We'll not go in very theoretical kind of things, but sometimes it's really important to get the understanding of theoretical stuff before we go into the technical stuff. So this is all for today's tutorial. I hope the foundation layer got clear to you. And this is my first video on CSM. I will keep on creating videos, okay, till the time we create the entire series for it. Okay. So till then, till the next video, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.